Okay, sorry about that. So, this is the tadpole who wanted to be grown up. Okay, so this is the tadpole who wanted to be grown up. So it was April, warm sunny day, when there was this tadpole who just came out of its jelly egg. Jelly covered the egg. Hands sanitizer. Okay, I'm just kidding. This is hand spray. Okay, never mind. So it's a warm day, and then it came out. Okay, so it looked brown, dark brown, like a blackish brown, and it had this tail on the end of its body, of course, and it had its tiny head with a little opening mouth, and kind of on the top of the head was the eye, of course. Was the eye, and then there was also the eye, and he kind of had these little fins and these feet, but you couldn't really see it because he was tiny. You know, sometimes it seemed that the head was the tail and the tail was the head. So when it kind of saw in how much space it was in, kind of went to the other eggs, you know, and then as he looked closely into the eggs because they were only jelly covered, and then as he saw that this jelly he saw that there were how do you say this? There were tadpoles almost the size of him. Okay, I'm smelling my hands because this is good things. Okay, so he wanted the other tadpoles to come out of their eggs because he wanted to play with them. So he kind of made a big tadpole mouthful of he kind of ate the jelly egg. Yeah. Okay, so for some reason, all the little tadpoles, they kind of ate the jelly, nibbling it. Yum 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 yum. Okay. Yum 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 yum. And as they were nibbling it, they kind of went out of the egg. They got out of the egg, and soon they met their breath. And then they kind of dropped down. They looked the same. They all looked the same. But of course, the oldest brother tadpole that had hatched already knew who hatched first. Of course, he knew it. He would never forget it. He knew he would never forget. And then soon they dropped down to the bottom of the lake, to the bottom of the body of water.
Pond.
Okay, pond. Bottom of the pond. And when they dropped to the bottom of the pond, they met their neighbors, and people didn't really pay attention to them. The old people forgot that the tadpoles were even there. So they kind of talked. And the tadpoles heard this, and they cared too. Of course. So there were also minnows. Minnows who didn't really see the tadpoles, but then they kind of with their fins, they kind of slap them. And with their tails, they also slap them. They would call them little big mouths. And the minnows weren't really hurting them, but they were bullying them. So that was a kind of hurt, just physical hurting, mental hurting, Even a little minnow, a baby minnow, would walk away if a if a tadpole wanted to play with him. Yeah. Okay, so they overheard the old eels, the eels talking. One father eel said, well, I hope that the tadpoles will hide your breathing gills and get to the top of the water. Then another mother eel said, yes, I do hope so. Their tails keep wiggling so fast, I can't even bear to look at them. Why can't they just behave and be quiet? Tadpoles looked at each other with their black shining eyes, and they asked themselves, what are our breathing gills? What are breathing gills? Maybe it's this thing at the side of our heads. We have a nose, but they have breathing gills. Yeah, it is, said the first frog, the oldest frog, Oh, no, I mean tadpole. First tadpole, oldest tadpole. So, the oldest tadpole said, oh, the Mr. Frog told me. Mr. Big Frog. Mr. Big Frog. That's all I remember. But wait, I will tell you a story about my tadpoles that I caught. So this is a funny story. So I was just going to my tadpole bucket when I saw that the biggest tadpole was eating other tadpoles. No, yeah, it was eating a small tadpole. And then I said, I have witnessed a tadpole murderer. I will bring you in court. Yes. Okay, so this is the green. Okay, so the green-brown frog who said, here's where the children talk. As she was deciding which tadpole was hers, and then she said, well, your breathing gills, they will kind of, you will no longer breathe in the water that much anymore, and you will go out and breathe by swallowing air. You cannot really go into the water that much anymore. I have said too much now. I'm out of breath. Goodbye. Then she went back up. To be honest, I've never seen a frog in the water. Okay. Then the tadpoles. Then one of the tadpoles that hatched last said, "Hey, your tadpoles tuloy. Your breathing gills are not as big as mine, and your breathing gills are not as big as mine."
He said to the?
He said to the oldest.
Okay.
She said to the oldest tadpole. "Ah, yes," said the oldest tadpole. "Ah, yes," said the oldest tadpole. who kind of liked being the firstborn. No. Then his friend said, actually, breathing gills, they look like they disappeared. Kind of look like they disappeared. I think they just, yeah, they kind of look like they disappeared. Then they found out that is what happens to older tadpoles.